Now, I hope when you read this, that some of you thought, how is making up your own mind an awesome responsibility? And awesome in this context would mean epic, monumental. To make up your own mind? Well, Lyle Watson in this book, he's looking at the big picture. He's one of those people with all kinds of degrees. He was interested in all forms of science and what he called the soft edges of science, things science couldn't quite explain away, but effects that persisted and just were unable to be duplicated in a laboratory. So most scientists ignored them. Well, Lyle Watson decided not to ignore them and pursued his own brand of research, which was ridiculed by a lot of other scientists and embraced by others. But a free thinker. For most of human evolution, you just accepted your role. You didn't have access to information. You were told what was and what will be and what you will do. And for the most part, that's what you did. We live in a time where we are faced with so many choices. Let's dial this all the way back to the Mac Lab. And remember, you have, let's come back here. You have all these choices. What do you want to work on? You have to make up your own mind. What is it you want to work on? Oh, and by the way, Shapescape, ShapePlane, ArcWelder, GeoBuilder, yesterday they didn't work. Yesterday I also started showing people our workaround. We have a workaround. If you want to work in these apps, talk to me. Hey, Scotchko, I want to try this. I'll show you how to set it up. And then you can help other people around you set it up because it's really easy and it works every single time. Okay, this isn't one of those, well, kind of works. So we make up our minds. One of the things is that tech happens, and when it does, we roll with it, and we try to find workarounds. We try to find ways to make things work. Now, also yesterday, I talked about the superintendent. Today, the meeting was set for December 4th, so that's a ways off. Plenty of time for you to become an expert in designing logos and logo types. The film festival and kids calendar deadlines are clicking to a close very rapidly on Friday. So just be aware of that. And I want to show you something that I started thinking, who's going to believe this series of quotes really is happening randomly? This is from pieces of papers that I printed out back in 1995, I think, 1992. Yeah, this was an underclassman project. This is probably 92 when I made this. And on an old word processor. So one sheet, these numbers correspond to the author on a different sheet. So the idea that these quotes have fallen randomly in order with all the stuff that's happening around us, yeah, this is what Lyle Watson would call synchronicity. Okay? And actually, it wasn't Lyle Watson. It was Wolfgang Pauli and Carl Jung, two Pulitzer or Nobel Prize winners who studied acausal connections that they called synchronicity, meaningful coincidences. But that's a subject for another time. I want you guys to understand, you got to make up your mind. What are you going to do in the Mac Lab? Is this going to make a difference in your life? Are you going to learn how to handle freedom with responsibility? You're being trained for 21st century skill sets in here and awesome responsibility.